Welcome to the Invite Health podcast, where our degreed healthcare professionals are excited to offer you the most important health and wellness information you need to make informed choices about your health. You can learn more about the products discussed in each of these episodes and all that Invite Health has to offer at www.invitehealth.com/podcast. First-time customers can use promo code podcast at checkout for an additional 15% off your first purchase. Let's get started.
Okay, it's Thanksgiving, the holiday season. It's a wonderful time of year, very beautiful. Everybody decorates their houses and all. However, there's all of those threats to your waistline, like that favorite pecan pie sent by your aunt down in South Carolina or your mother over in Pennsylvania baking those great cookies for you, and you don't want to throw them away because that's kind of like insulting. So you give half away at work maybe, and the other half is kind of sitting there tempting you. And it's typical for people to gain weight over the holidays, anywhere from 2, 3, 4, even 6 pounds. Well, you don't want that. It's hard enough to keep your waistline down. We have a way of helping that. So welcome to our How to Keep Off That Holiday-Related Weight Gain. My name is Jerry Hickey. I'm a nutritional pharmacist. I'm also the senior scientific officer over here at Invite Health, which indicates there is a scientific department, and that's true. We make life better with nutrition, and we're here today to tell you how you can safely and efficiently and effectively help prevent that holiday time of year weight gain. Phase 2. Phase 2 is one of my favorite supplements. There's many human clinical trials behind Phase 2, including over at the Mayo Clinic. Phase 2 is derived from Phaseolus vulgaris, a type of bean, and they wash this stuff out. It's water soluble, so it's easy to remove. You couldn't eat enough beans to really make this worthwhile because the beans have calories. They are a carbohydrate, so they have to wash this out of the beans and concentrate it and clean it, and then I figure out how to sell it to you in a proper fashion. And that's what we do. So Phase 2 has over 20 human clinical trials behind it. It's so effective and so safe that the FDA, the American Food and Drug Administration, allows us to claim that. We're allowed to make claims with weight, and we're allowed to say it's GRAS, generally recognized as safe. So how does it work? Well, it attaches to starch digesting enzymes, and it blocks the absorption of sugars. Now, you could still taste the food. You're just not absorbing as much sugar as you used to. And they've clocked in their research up to 500 fewer sugar calories absorbed every day. So how does that work? Well, in your digestive tract, you release an enzyme from your pancreas, your pancreatic gland, called alpha amylase enzymes. It's a family of enzymes. And what they do, they liberate sugar from foods like potatoes and sweet potatoes and pasta, any kind of noodle, and from rice and from bread and cake and cookies, etc. See, sugar isn't just automatically absorbed. If you look at the sugar molecule, if you think of the sugar molecule, think of flattening a pine tree or a Christmas tree, flattening a pine tree. And the alpha amylase removes certain branches. And if you don't remove those specific branches, you don't absorb the sugar, and the sugar just passes right through you. And that's what's happening with Phase 2. You'll absorb enough sugar from healthy foods that suit your needs for your brain energy and muscle energy, etc. But you're not going to absorb that amazingly overabundant amount of sugar we have every year. We Americans, we consume way too much sugar. So the Phase 2 attaches to the enzymes, and the sugar molecules pass through you. Now, we've seen some anecdotal benefits from this, but we see them repeatedly, so it's very interesting. For one thing, people seem to be eating in a more disciplined fashion when they start using the Phase 2. After a while, it doesn't happen right away. It takes a little time. But what happens, we have these big plates today. The plates today are much bigger than the plates of yesteryear. And we tend to fill the whole plate. And we tend to eat that. And the thing is that way too much food. So we've seen with a lot of people, they've reported to us that they're putting less food on their plate. They're satisfied with less food. And it's helping people with binge eating on carbs, that carb craving that people get after work. They come home from work exhausted and stressed out, and they keep on returning to the cookie jar or the refrigerator or the bread box and getting more and more food. And by the time they've finished snacking after dinner, it's like they ate 2 dinners. So it's been helping our clients with carb craving, kind of binge eating, if it's not something that's a mood disturbance kind of thing, and also with being more disciplined with eating. But what does the research show? Well, the research shows when you take the phase 2, it's called phase 2, that it's successful in reducing the amount of sugar you absorb from your food. So that helps 3 different types of people. It helps people who have pre-diabetes and diabetes, because not only does it decrease the amount of sugar that you absorb, but whatever sugar you do absorb, it slows down, so it's easier for these people to handle their sugar. Normally they have trouble handling their sugar. But for people who want to lose weight, it's really a solid benefit. Blocking the absorption of 300, 400, 500 calories of sugar every day, depending on how much phase 2 you take, really has an impact. Someone who's kind of lean, who needs to lose 10 or 15 pounds, they'll probably lose, I don't know, a pound a week. But that's good, 4 pounds in 1 month. Whereas people who really have to lose a lot of weight, they could be 2 or 3 pounds a week. So after a month, they could have lost their first 8 pounds successfully and safely, because there's no antihistamines in here, there's no stimulants in here. It's simply that expression of the ingredient in the Phaseolus vulgaris beans. Now, it's non-GMO. It's totally made in the United States, even the capsule. And the way you would take it is you take 2 capsules with a glass of water about 5 minutes before each meal, and you absorb less sugar from that meal. Now, there is a third group of people that it would help. These are people who already lost the weight. Maybe they did something like the keto diet, or they really fasted a lot, and they really were careful about what they ate, and they did a ton of exercise, and they lost a lot of weight. Well, now they have to keep the weight off. So I told them, take 2 of the phase 2 with a glass of water before your biggest meal once a day, and that'll help keep the weight off. Because a lot of people yo-yo. They yo-yo diet. They lose weight. They work hard at it for 3 to 6 months. They lose a lot of weight, and a month or 2 after stopping the diet, they're starting to gain the weight back again, and eventually they gain more weight than they initially lost. It's not healthy. It's very unhealthy to go back and forth like that. So rather than yo-yo diet, simply take 2 phase 2 with a glass of water about 5 minutes before your biggest meal, and that'll help prevent you from regaining the weight that you successfully lost. And that's only a good thing. Now, there is another supplement that could be useful right now around the holiday seasons to help prevent that weight gain that accompanies the holidays. That's called Trim HX. It's a type of ginger called Grains of Paradise, which helps convert white fat, that's belly fat, into beige fat. That's fat that gives you energy and endurance. So one thing the Trim HX will help you with is energy and endurance, but also burning fat. And the other ingredient in there is an herb it's a plant called Griffonia simplicifolia, which supplies an alpha amino acid called 5-hydroxytryptophan, 5-HTP. And what this does, it helps you control your appetite even further. So I tell people who really have trouble containing themselves, they just keep on eating, take a Trim HX with a glass of water a half an hour before 2 meals a day. Figure lunch and dinner, because you want to have a nice big healthy breakfast. Trim HX a half an hour before lunch and dinner, and you're going to accomplish 2 things. You're going to eat less at your meal, and you're going to be happy with that. You're not going to feel hungry after it. But the second thing is you're also going to prevent in-between meals snacking. But there's another benefit there. The 5-HTP helps you deal with stress. Stress makes food more fattening, not to mention that it steps on your immune system. Your immune system won't work so well. When you're stressed out, you release cortisol from your adrenal glands, these 2 little triangular glands, one sits atop each kidney, and the stress glands do a lot of things, but one of the things they do is make food more fattening. So if you eat a cookie and you're calm, it's literally less fattening than if you eat a cookie and you're stressed out, because simply put, stress hormones pack calories onto your body. They put calories on your body. So the Trim HX, taken twice a day, a half an hour before lunch and dinner, is for people who do a lot of in-between snacking, or people who just can't stop eating. They should eat less at their meal, and they shouldn't be snacking in between if they do the Trim HX, and you get the added benefit of getting rid of stress, feelings of stress, and that's really a good thing during these times of, the flu and the COVID-19 and all that, because we're going into winter. Now, the other thing, we do have a great meal replacement. It's called weight management powder. You would take a scoop in place of a meal, and it gets rid of your hunger because it's full of protein. We have protein in there from non-GMO soy. We take out the soy estrogens, they're gone. It's the soy protein. It's a soy protein isolate. So we take out the fats, we take out those estrogenic type of things. And they're really polyphenols, by the way. They're not estrogens. And we have the a very high quality non-GMO whey, both American sourced, by the way. And the whey also has protein. When you mix the whey with the soy protein, you make a very perfect protein. But then we also add a third of a day's worth of vitamins and minerals, as well as food antioxidants like a little green tea and some bioflavonoids, etc. And the reason for that is it's a real meal replacement. And it's a powder. We don't like to make it in a liquid because then you have to add all kinds of chemicals to keep it stable. So it's a powder. You mix it in with water or almond beverage or soy beverage or rice beverage, and it tastes really good, but you feel satisfied after it. So 3 things that can help you through the holidays, prevent that holiday-related weight gain, or if you ever have a problem with weight, Trim HX for your appetite control and to help you with stress, because stress is fattening. Phase 2 to block the absorption of some of those sugar molecules. That'll help you lose weight. And then the last thing is the meal replacement powder, which we call weight management powder. So any event, this is Jerry Hickey, nutritional pharmacist. I'm signing off here, and I want to thank you for listening. Thanks for listening to this episode. You can find all of our episodes for free wherever you listen to your podcast, or you could visit invitehealth.com, and our opening page on our website, you just scan down a little bit and there's an icon for podcasts, but also our radio programs. Please subscribe. Please leave us a review. I'd love to know how I'm doing. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Invite Health, and I hope to see you another time on another episode of the Invite Health podcast, and thank you so much for listening.